Since the first steps of humanity on Earth, a deep and unsettling question has crossed generations. What is the true purpose of life? Why do we live? What brought us here? And what is expected of us as human beings while we inhabit this small point in the universe? These questions, as ancient as they may be, continue to echo in the minds of philosophers, scientists, and seekers from all eras. Throughout history, many have tried to offer answers, some of them simple and objective, such as seeking happiness, loving others, or living in peace. But if the meaning of life were only that, what would make us different from other living beings? What distinguishes us as a species from the other animals or organisms that inhabit this planet? Human life is more than the incessant pursuit of momentary happiness. There is something deeper and perhaps even more sacred, something beyond what the eyes can see or the hands can touch. And what if the true answer wasn't in seeking happiness or wealth, but in something deeper? Many scholars over the centuries have proposed that the meaning of life goes beyond the satisfaction of personal desires. They believe that our journey as human beings is connected to something grand and cosmic, something beyond our immediate understanding, and in this tangle of questions and attempts at answers, great spiritual masters and thinkers arise, whose teachings continue to illuminate our path. Hermes Trismegistus, Jesus Christ, Buddha, Socrates, these names which cross centuries of history, are not only religious or philosophical figures, but also bearers of answers that, though millennia old, still resonate in the minds of those seeking more than a rational explanation for existence. They speak of a greater force that governs the cosmos, of a creative energy that is present in every human being, of a purpose that goes beyond mere survival. But what in fact does this search for a higher purpose mean? The understanding that life has a mission for each of us implies that by fulfilling this role, we are connecting with the very essence of the universe, aligning our actions with the natural laws that govern everything that exists. Are we living according to our personal mission, or are we, many times, losing ourselves in the distractions that the modern world offers? From the first philosophers of ancient Greece, like Plato and Aristotle, to the modern currents of spiritual thought, the idea that human beings have a life mission is not new. What has changed over time, however, is the way we seek to understand this purpose. Science, which was once united with spirituality, has been distancing itself, becoming a separate field with its own rules and methods. But what if instead of separating, we needed to unite science and spirituality to find a more complete and true path? What happens when we turn to understand the universe not only with the rational mind, but also with the heart and soul? If you are interested in discovering more about the purpose of life and how these great minds can help us better understand our role in the universe, like the video now. Your interaction is essential for us to continue exploring these mysteries together. If we look closely, we will realize that life, in its essence, is movement. Everything in the universe is in constant transformation. No being, no cell, no planet remains still. From the heart that beats inside our chest to the galaxies spanning billions of light years away, everything vibrates, everything moves, everything evolves. And human beings, as part of this same moving universe, are also called to evolve, not just biologically, but spiritually and emotionally. The ancient sages said that man is a microcosm reflecting the macrocosm. In other words, within us is a miniature representation of the entire universe. This means that the same force that makes a star shine is the same energy that fuels the sparkle in our eyes when we are in love with life. This invisible connection between the whole and the part is what many call the soul, consciousness, or divine spark. And it is precisely this spark that sets us apart. We are the only beings capable of asking, why? Consciousness is the greatest gift and, at the same time, the greatest challenge of humanity. It allows us to create, love, dream, and also suffer, doubt, and fear. Through it, we experience free will, the ability to choose the path we will take. But it is precisely here that the dilemma of existence lies. If we can choose any path, how do we know which one is the right one? What did we truly come here to do? The answer, perhaps, lies in recognizing that life is not a straight line, but a spiral. We return to the same points with new understandings at new levels of consciousness. The universe seems to teach us in cycles, repeating lessons until we can fully understand them. Just as nature has its seasons, the human being also goes through springs of growth, winters of introspection, summers of expansion, and autumns of renewal. Each phase brings a learning that brings us closer to a greater purpose. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you," he was talking exactly about this, the power to understand life from within, not from the outside. Hermes Trismegistus, long before, had already taught the same principle with different words. What is above is like what is below. In other words, the divine is not distant, but present in every act, in every thought, in every breath. What changes is how much we are able to perceive this presence. And this is why human beings live in search. We seek answers, but what we are really looking for is meaning. And meaning is not found in books, doctrines, or external promises. It borns when we look inward, when we understand that our mission is not to copy the path of others, but to walk our own with awareness and purpose. There is an old saying, "The soul that knows itself does not get lost." And perhaps this is exactly the point. The more we know ourselves, the more we understand what we came here to do. Our function in the universe is not to be better than anyone, but to be who we truly are, in our most complete and true form. The mission of each human being is to awaken, grow, and from this growth, help others awaken as well. When we understand this, even the pains of life take on a new meaning. Losses, fears, and challenges cease to be punishments and become tools for transformation. Everything that happens to us, even what seems unjust, has a reason within the great universal symphony. The question then stops being, "Why is this happening to me?" and becomes, "What does this want to teach me?" Human beings came to Earth to learn, evolve, and remember who they are. We are fragments of a cosmic consciousness that experiences itself through life. Each choice, each act of love or compassion is a way of manifesting the divine in the physical world. And when we do this consciously, we become co-creators of reality, active participants in the very work of creation. As the journey of life unfolds, human beings are constantly challenged to find their path, to understand their mission, and, most importantly, to live according to it. But the truth is that this understanding does not come easily. It requires courage to look within, to confront our shadows, our fears, and perhaps hardest of all, our own resistance to change. For a long time, humanity has been taught to seek in the external world what is, in reality, a reflection of what already exists within each of us. The purpose of our life is not to accumulate wealth, status, or power, but to fulfill something much deeper, our connection with the cosmos, with nature, with the creative force that gave us life. We are essential pieces in this grand tapestry of existence, and our true mission is to understand the role we play in this universal setting. Many times, we lose ourselves trying to follow predefined paths that are not our own. We are influenced by what society expects of us, by what our families wish for us, or by what others believe to be right. But true freedom comes when we finally free ourselves from these external expectations and allow ourselves to be who we truly are. When we finally look within and discover what our soul desires to accomplish in this world. And that is where we find the climax of our existence, when we become aware of our true purpose. When we realize that our life is not just a sequence of random days, but a deeply meaningful journey, where every action, every choice has the power to transform the world around us. The meaning of life is not something to be found in a single moment, but something we discover along the way as we allow ourselves to evolve and expand. As Buddha said, what we are today is the result of our thoughts from yesterday. And if, from yesterday to today, our thoughts have been shaped by a limited perception of what is possible for us, then it is time to expand that perception. Each of us carries within the ability to create the reality we wish to live. But to do that, we must go beyond the surface of life, beyond daily distractions, and dive deep into the core of our own soul. This is the true mission of human life, to discover who we are, to accept our divine essence, and to act according to that truth. When we do so, everything aligns. The harmony between body, mind, and spirit places us in tune with the universe. It doesn't matter where we go or what we do. The simple act of living in our truth and fulfilling our mission brings a deep peace and a sense of fulfillment that cannot be bought or found in anything external. And so, the kingdom of heaven that Jesus referred to is not a distant place, but a state of being. The true heaven is the state of inner harmony, of alignment with nature and the divine. When we enter this state, life flows more easily. Difficulties become opportunities for growth, and blessings multiply. Each of our missions is unique. Perhaps you have not yet found yours, or maybe you have already begun to perceive it. But what matters is to keep walking the path. No matter how long or difficult it may be, what truly matters is being aligned with your purpose. For that is where you will find your true peace and satisfaction. If this reflection has touched something within you, share your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe is the mission of human life? Let's continue this conversation, for it is vital to our collective growth. If you are ready to continue this journey of self-discovery and understanding, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here we dive deep into the questions that truly matter.